We saw many amazing fighters in Game of Thrones, but who was the best? Starting us off at number 5, we have Oberyn Martell. Oberyn created his reputation through his fight against the strongest man alive, which was very similar to David vs. Goliath. Cersei had said that Oberyn's reputation as a brilliant fighter who was feared all throughout Westeros, when making an honest analogy in Game of Thrones. His prestige was officially revealed when he fought the Mountain, and while most people would turn the other way, Oberyn sought out the Mountain for a revenge duel. The reach of his spear, his mastery of it, and the poisons at his disposal made him one of the few warriors capable of winning against a seemingly impossible opponent. But his arrogance and his lust for retribution prevented him from doing so in Oberyn's fight against the Mountain. Before his poison could kill the Mountain, Clegane crushed his skull. Coming in at number 4, we have Robert Baratheon. Although he lacked the aura of one during his scenes in the show, Robert Baratheon was counted among the most renowned soldiers in the history of the Game of Thrones world. With the help of Ned Stark and Jon Arryn, he led a rebellion to end the nearly 3-century-old Targaryen dynasty. He led forces through the conflict and took the throne for himself. But after sitting upon it, he didn't do a lot of fighting. Robert recalled to Ned how he easily could wield a warhammer with a single hand, despite most warriors needing two to use it. With the combination of this level of strength, along with the ability to utilize a shield, Robert defeated the talented Rhaegar Targaryen in single combat. A skilled fighter with immense physical strength is very hard to beat, but unfortunately he couldn't hold his own against the boar. At number 3, we have Jaime Lannister. Compared to most recognized fighters in Westeros, Jaime was quite young but widely known nonetheless. His youth itself garnered fame as he was the youngest knight to ever serve in the Kingsguard. He served under Aerys Targaryen II, commonly referred to as the Mad King, well before the events of Game of Thrones. His skill only grew from that age. Jaime claimed that only 3 men in Westeros could stand against him at his best, which was not really untrue. And before losing his hand after protecting Brienne, Jaime Lannister's skill was acknowledged by Barristan Selmy. In addition, he killed 10 of Robb Stark's soldiers before the Northerners can finally capture him. Even after losing his hand, he retrained himself to wield one-handed sword. At number 2, we have Barristan Selmy. A knight who will certainly go down in history as one of the best and most skilled to ever grace Westeros is Barristan Selmy. Influential figures and exceptional warriors alike praised and admired him for his skill as a swordsman. This includes Ned, Robert, Jaime Lannister, Tywin Lannister, and Jorah Mormont praising him. The prestige Barristan holds is not without strong evidence. Many characters attest to this, and his claim that he can easily slay 5 Kingsguard members despite his old age is also very true. When he becomes older still, he slays a dozen Sons of the Harpy by himself while he's cornered in Game of Thrones. And finally, at number 1, kind of the obvious choice, Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning. Possessing as much talent as Barristan Selmy, but not getting enough screen time in Game of Thrones, is Arthur Dayne, the Sword of the Morning. A member of the Kingsguard during the Mad King's reign, he is identified by Ned Stark as the best swordsman he ever met. Ned made this claim while knowing warriors like Barristan and Jaime and seeing them fight, and still saying that Arthur is the best he's seen. Arthur Dayne demonstrated his superiority in his fight at the Tower of Joy, his sword Dawn, and his mastery of combat with 2 swords drew attention to his edge over other swordsmen. Dayne's ability to fight and defeat 4 opponents at the same time while they surround him only scratched at the surface of his capabilities. So there you have it. There's my list of the top 5 best fighters in Game of Thrones. Of course, there's many other honorable mentions that you could add to that list outside the top 5, but I think that top 5 is pretty clear. Now you could maybe shift a few of them, maybe move Jaime up, maybe move Barristan up, or Oberyn. It just depends on how you see them. So, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Thanks for watching.